Inside the temples around Leh, we spent time studying the colorful Buddhist wall paintings. Every surface told a story: Buddhas, protectors, and scenes of entire worlds, painted in reds, blues, and golds. These weren't decorations, they were visual teachings. We headed east, following the Indus Valley road toward Thiksey. As we left Leh behind, the town slowly dissolved into open space. Buildings thinned out, the road quieted, and the valley widened. The Indus River flowed below, broad and steady, shaping life here as it has for centuries. Then, rising above the plain on a low hill, Thiksey Monastery came into view. From a distance, it doesn't look like a single building. It looks like a small city stacked upward, whitewashed walls climbing the hillside in layers. People often compare it to the Potala Palace in Lhasa, and standing there, it's easy to see why. Thiksey feels less constructed than grown, as if the hill itself decided to become a monastery. Thiksey is the largest monastery in central Ladakh, and it belongs to the Gompa order, the same school of Tibetan Buddhism associated with the Dalai Lama. For centuries, it has been a center of religious learning, ritual, and daily monastic life. Inside the monastery complex, corridors wind through chapels, assembly halls, and quiet rooms lined with murals. From inside the monastery, we stepped out onto the rooftop, moving above the main buildings and into open air. Below us, monks stood in place, blowing long conch shell-shaped horns, ancient instruments whose sound was deep, low, and unmistakably intentional. I didn't yet understand the meaning of the ritual, only that it marked something important. The notes weren't music in the ordinary sense. They were signals, announcing prayer, calling attention, marking time in a spiritual way older than explanation. From that height, the Indus Valley opened out in every direction. Cultivated fields formed careful patterns below, cut through by the pale ribbon of the river. Beyond them, the land rose gradually into snow-capped mountains, distant but ever-present, framing everything we could see. We climbed higher still, up narrow stairways that led above the monastery itself. The sound changed immediately. Wind replaced echo. Space replaced enclosure. Looking down, the buildings stacked neatly below us, white against earth and sky. Looking outward, there was only space, light, and silence broken by the low call of the horns. And then, after taking in the view, we turned inward again. That's when we found the Maitreya Buddha, waiting quietly above it all. The statue fills the room, about 15 meters tall, rising through 2 stories of the building. It's impossible to absorb all at once. Your eyes move upward slowly, adjusting to the scale, the calm expression, the symmetry of the posture. Maitreya is the Buddha of the future, the one who is said to appear when the teachings of the present age have faded. Most images of Maitreya show him standing or seated in a relaxed posture. But here, at Thiksey, he sits in the full lotus position, deeply meditative. It's an unusual choice and a powerful one. The statue was installed to commemorate the visit of the 14th Dalai Lama in 1970, and it reflects a quiet confidence. Made by local artisans using copper gilt and stucco, it doesn't feel imported or imposed. It feels Ladakhi, grounded, restrained, enduring. Standing before it, the scale doesn't overwhelm. It steadies. The statue doesn't command attention. It receives it. After spending time above the monastery, we began making our way back down, slowly descending through the layers of Thiksey. Going down felt different than climbing up, quieter, more reflective, as if the visit was settling in. Along the walls, rows of prayer wheels lined the passageways. As we walked, we reached out and spun them one by one, sending off prayers carried by motion rather than words. Each turn was small, almost casual, yet part of something continuous. Prayers set in motion long before us, and long after we would leave. The stone beneath our feet was worn smooth by time. Generations of hands had touched these wheels. Generations of footsteps had taken this same path downward. As we reached the lower levels, we met monks coming the other way, descending the stairs after prayer and study. Some moved quietly, eyes lowered. Others spoke softly among themselves. There was no sense of ceremony in their movement. This was simply daily life continuing. We stepped aside, watched them pass, and then continued on, leaving the monastery behind, carrying the stillness of that place with us back toward Leh.